Did you want an intro or no?
Yeah, you can do an intro. Go for it.
My name is Mark. I'm Rachel's father. I work in the emergency room. I'm a registered nurse there. And one of my favorite things to do is look at EKGs. So if you ever looked at the monitor and see all the squiggles that go up and down, if you think of, is that dark enough?
No.
All right, give me a Sharpie.
Where Sharpie is?
There should be one sitting over there. So if you ever see the EKG, the lines that go up and down, and how they look like tracings for your heart, you have to think about the anatomy of the heart. The top part of the heart is the atria, the bottom part is the ventricle, and within the electrical system, there's different areas, nodes, and whatnot like that. Good. So if you look at the look at a line, the isoelectric line that you see, or more commonly you may have heard of, like if you're flatlined, this is what you're looking at. So what you're supposed to have is, I only have like 5-10 minutes, is there's a P wave. Actually, let's draw a heart. And the heart is divided up into 4 chambers. In the top portion here, the atria, the ventricles, you have the SA node, which is the beginning of the electrical system. There's the AV node, your bundle of His, and your left and right bundle branches, and the Purkinje fibers that spread out the electrical system. So the electrical system starts up here in the AV node, and then the top half of the heart squeezes. The electrical system then comes down to the AV node and quickly disperses to the bottom half, and then you get the bottom half of the squeeze. So when the AV node goes off, you'll see a P wave. So then when the electrical current gets from the SA node to the AV node, and then it quickly disperses, you get the QRS complex, QRS. And then what you see is the ventricles resetting, which is your T wave. So it's a P, QRS, QRS, and T wave. That's the parts of your EKG. Okay, so now we're looking at, this is one beat. You don't see the atria resetting because it's hidden in the QRS complex. It's so small. You get the P, QRS, T. T is the resetting. So if you think about how fast you get a P, QRS, T, P, QRS, T, and how fast that is. So if it is between 60 and 100 beats per minute, that is sinus rhythm. That is a normal sinus rhythm. If it's faster than 100, we call it sinus tach. Sinus tach is tachycardia, so it's sinus tach. Now, if you get the normal rates for that are going to be up between 100 and 150. If you get above 150, now you're thinking more of, it's not the SA node that's firing, it's somewhere else, and you get a lot of rapid firing. If it's one spot, then we're talking about atrial tachycardia. So it's super fast. Okay, so let's look at, if the beat starts here in the middle and you don't have your sinus beat, you're missing the P wave, and you go straight into the QRS complex, Now you don't have the P wave, so the beat is actually starting here in the AV node, and that's a that is a different type of tachycardia. So it's not sinus, it's junctional or junctional tachycardia if it's a faster than its normal intrinsic rate. You think about the normal intrinsic rates, the SA node has a 60 to 100. The AV node is normally 40 to 60. So if your rate is typically, if you have a rate of 50 with no P wave, you have a junctional rhythm. If you have a rate of 100 and no P wave, you have a junctional tachycardia. And yeah, you can do junctional brady as well, which bradycardia means slower. Yeah, 5 minutes before I got to leave for work. So let's look at everybody's favorite on the TV. We're looking at all these crazy. Everyone has seen this on television, I'm sure. It's a ventricular rhythm. It is not necessarily a healthy rhythm. It is a lethal arrhythmia. So what are we actually seeing when you see this? Is that there's a spots in the bottom that are starting the beat, not going through the normal conduction system. So you can see variations. Where you get all sorts of random beats that are just occurring in the bottom half of the heart. We'll do one more. And we'll look at very nice regular. So what is actually happening here? We're getting the beat is starting in the lower half of the heart in the ventricles. And then you're getting one spot here that's firing. And the reason why it looks weird and bizarre like that, because it's propagating upwards. This one, you can see it's propagating in the wrong direction as well, starting in the ventricle somewhere, and it gets bigger, smaller, bigger, smaller. These are all variations of V back. This is a V. Whoop, I got that backwards. V tac, but a specific torsades. I probably spelled that wrong, but it's torsades, which is French for twisting of the points. So it's a special kind of ventricular tachycardia. These are all lethal arrhythmias. Here is your classic Vfib, ventricular fibrillation. Fibrillation is different from tachycardia, by being that think tachycardia is fast, but this is a ventricular. There's smaller single spots that are firing. This one you got all sorts of random spots all over the place that are firing. These two are just a single spot that's going off. And I got to go to work. All right. I hope that filled your time enough, Rachel. I could literally go on for hours with this stuff, and I have. So eventually I'll make that other video. I want to make a video for work discussing all this kind of stuff. And then we can get into the really fun things like blocks and whatnot.
Yeah, we can make a stream.
Yeah, I need to do that. I need to record it because I teach this multiple times at work to a lot of new people. So, all right. I'm going to give it back to Rachel, and I got to go to work. Hope that was fun for you.
Yeah, thank you, Dad.
Yep.